Hi everyone! Welcome everybody to the Hagir show on the Hagir network. We are so excited to be here with you guys today. Before we get started with the show, please let your friends know that we are live and in color. So what that means is tag all your friends below. Tag your friends. We want to know where you're watching from. Also, please make sure you're following us on all social medias. That means Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Hey, y'all. Hey, okay? Make sure you're following us on all platforms so you don't miss a beat. I'm not saying a dime, but I don't.
Not a dime.
Not a dime.
And we get a lot of question about how people can help.
Yes.
Just being there.
Yes.
Being yourself. Share. Like. Subscribe. Do all of that. And if there's something that you hear here and you think it's important and you want other people to hear about it, tag them or share it with them. If there is a topic that you want us to discuss and we did not discuss, please tell us. Mm-hmm. We will take any suggestions, and we are here to do what we can with what we know. And anything that you hear here, it's either something that we personally experience or work with. So you're never going to hear us talking about something we don't know.
Facts.
I'll promise you
that.
Guarantee. And the same way when we talk about business and that, you don't listen to someone who never done that before. That goes with everything and every topic. Mm-hmm. So any topic that we talk to you about is something that we do have knowledge of. So
yes. And we do allow guests to come on the show.
Yeah.
So if you are listening to us and you feel like you have something that you want to share, you can submit an invite to come on the show, and then put in the comments that you have something to say regarding what we're talking about, and we will more than welcome invite you onto the show with us. Okay. Yeah. So today we have a very serious topic that Hagir and I both feel strongly about. And today is violence awareness. And today we're going to be speaking about verbal abuse, how it affects children. So do you know how verbal abuse impacts children? Yes. And this is a really serious topic. Hagir and I, we've witnessed it firsthand, of the effects of abuse and verbal abuse in children. And we actually, spent some time, and it was very challenging. It was very uncomfortable, and it was very sad. So before we get into the show, I'm going to ask everyone, does anybody watching TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, do you guys know the impact that it has on, do you know the impact of verbal abuse on children?
Yeah. الليلة يوم الثلاثاء. I'm gonna talk in Arabic for a minute. الليلة يوم الثلاثاء، وعادة يوم الثلاثاء بنتكلم عن العنف بشكل عام. كويس؟ العنف ما بس هو العنف الأسري، لكن حتى الآثار بتاعة العنف اللفظي، العنف الجسدي على الأطفال. الليلة حنركز على العنف اللفظي وأثره على الأطفال. The effect of verbal abuse on children. When we talk about that, لما نتكلم عن العنف بشكل عام وإنه ليه starting from the husband and the wife.
Yes.
Like بدينا من الأم والأب، الزوج والزوجة. Father, mother, wife, husband. بدينا من الأم والأب، إنه الكلام بتاعهم، طريقة كلامهم مع بعض، طريقة كلامهم مع أطفالهم، طريقة تعاملهم مع بعض. العنف اللي بيحصل في البيت، لو كان جسدي، لو كان لفظي، لو كان أي نوع، financially, emotionally, all type of violence. When that happen in a household، لما يحصل في بيت، الأثر بتاعه ما بس على الشخص المتلقي للعنف. It doesn't only affect the person who's receiving the abuse directly. يعني العنف طريقة كلامك، التنمر، أي طريقة أنت بتتكلم بها هي ما بتأثر. يعني لو أنا بتكلم مع مايا when I talk to Maya if I abuse مايا verbally، لو اتكلمت مع مايا بطريقة معنفة بالنسبة لها قدام أطفال مثلا، الأثر شنو؟ الرسالة اللي حتصل للأطفال شنو؟ والأثر شنو؟ There's so much sweet. Oh, so what we just talked about, or Maya talked about، الحاجة اللي اتكلمت عنها مايا إنه نحن الاثنين يعني بنتطوح في مدارس. We volunteer at schools and events and talk to kids, you know, in different age group. نحن الاثنين قاعدين نتطوح في مدارس، في مناسبات، بنتكلم مع أطفال في أعمار مختلفة. والأسبوع ده يعني this week we experience a very harsh reality. يعني الأسبوع ده كان عندنا قراية لأطفال في مدارس ابتدائية elementary schools, children, and the discussion، الحوارات اللي كانت حاصلة يعني it was a heart, like really heart-wrenching. الطريقة اللي كانوا بيتكلموا بها الأطفال كانت بتوريك إنه هم جايين من ياتو مجتمع ولا جايين من ياتو بيت. The way they were talking, it showed us how they were raised, what type of a household they came from. يعني عادة بتقدر تعرف الطفل ده تربى كيف. It's easy to know how any kid is raised. If they were raised with love, if they were raised with fear, if they were raised with violence. سهل جدا إنك تعرف إذا الطفل اتربى في بيت فيه احترام وفيه محبة، ولا بيت فيه عنف، ولا بيت فيه يعني قسوة. فالأطفال اللي احنا تعاملنا معاهم الأسبوع دي كلهم كانوا بيتكلموا الطريقة بتاعتهم. The way they were talking was very aggressive. First of all, طريقتهم اللي كانوا بيتكلموا بها كانت عنيفة جدا. المصطلحات، the words they used, or their selection of words will actually tell you what they hear at home. الطريقة واختيارهم للكلمات وطريقة كلامهم بتوريك إنهم الحاجة دي ما الأطفال. Kids are not born to be hateful and violence. الأطفال ما بيتولدوا أشرار ولا معنفين ولا يعني with they're not born with their trouble or problems. الحاجات دي بتحصل بعد ما يتولدوا وبيشوفوها. Those issues happen after they are already born, and they see it in their environment, whether that in their household, or at the daycare, or their school, or the society in general. So I'll let you talk.
And whether you're like a religious person or not, you know, it talks about, you know, train up a child in the way they should go. So little things that we do at home that we think our children are not watching, that our children are not listening, they're absorbing that. You know, children are like sponges. You hear that everywhere, all over the internet and everyday life. Children are sponges and they absorb everything. So what you think they're not noticeable to, or they're too young to recognize that you and your husband are arguing all the time, you cuss each other out all the time, and you belittle each other all the time, this will trickle out into the classroom. This will trickle out into the workforce. This will trickle out onto the playground. Like, these things are not going to, they're not limited to just at home. And if they're acting a certain way at home, and this is for the children, if you notice that your child is aggressive, and they're back talking, and like different things like this, this is because this is a learned behavior. All behavior is learned behavior. So, our first one is, how does verbal abuse impact children? Number one is emotional trauma.
كيف العنف اللفظي بيأثر على الأطفال؟ أول حاجة, you said emotional trauma?
Yes.
Okay, so بتحصل لهم صدمة نفسية.
So, verbal abuse can cause significant emotional distress in children, leading to the feelings of worthlessness, anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem.
الكلام التعنيف والصدمات النفسية دي بتعمل آثار كثيرة عند الأطفال، منها low self esteem، واللي هي بتقللوا احترامهم لنفسهم وتقديرهم لنفسهم وإحساسهم بنفسهم ذاته. The way they view themselves and the way that they expect others to view them. الطريقة اللي هم بيقدروا بها روحهم، أو الطريقة اللي هم شايفين العالم أو الورلد حولهم مفروض يتعامل معاهم كيف فيها. This truly, I just want to say one thing here. I'm going to say it in Arabic and then in English and then in Arabic. What Maya just said, I witnessed it like truly in a very scary way.
Yeah.
When one of the children who's very young, you know, she insisted that words don't hurt.
Yeah.
It's okay to be mean to others. Like this, ده جاي ده كلام من طفلة في سنة رابعة ابتدائي. قالت الكلمات you join with them. Yeah, if you want to join, let us know. قالت الكلمات ما بتجرح، الكلمات ما بتأثر. Words don't hurt.
Right.
And that's a way of you know, behavior or a way that she's going to perceive the world.
Yeah.
She's going to expect people to talk to her any kind of way.
Yeah.
الطفلة دي يعني بطريقة تفكيرها ده متوقعة إنه العالم يتعاملوا معاه، يعني ما فارقة معاه إنه الناس تتعامل معاه ينبذوها يسمعوها كلام، مش لأنها she doesn't care، ما لأنها هي ما شغالة بكلامهم، لكن لأنها بتفتكر إنه ده كلام ما يعني ما بيعمل حاجة. This is the way that people think that abuse is only physical. And she specifically said, if they don't hit you, it is not bad. يعني الكلام اللي قالت لو ما حصل تعنيف ضرب من أهلها ولا من الناس اللي حولها ما بيعتبر ده تعدي. She think bullying is not a problem.
Right.
Hi Tuta. So you know, those are the things that when you raise your daughter and son، لما تربي طفلتك وطفلك على انهم يتقبلوا انهم بيشوفوا الكلام، حيشوفوا الام متقبله مثلا الطريقه اللي بيتكلم بها الابو او الضرب او اي تعامل كعب، والفايس فيرسا او العكس، بيشوفوا الابو مثلا بيتحمل ساكت على حاجات كثيره تعتبر تعنيف او في المجتمع او اطفال معاهم في المدرسه. يعني I ask the student you know, if you see something you say something, right? That's what we always say. لو شفتوا حاجه كعبه حتجيفوا حتساعدوا المحتاج لكم مش. فher answer ردها كان إنه that's snitching. So the answer.
And then the whole group of children.
The whole children
chimed in. They were like, "Yeah, you snitch, and you know you're beat up or things like that." And
yeah.
It was like a harsh reality.
Yeah.
And I think what hit most for me is to think that my son, who is 9 years old, might come in contact with a child who doesn't think words hurt. And that constant. Like hearing that,
pickering,
you know like
calling, name calling.
Exactly.
Like there were so many bad words that I don't even say out loud.
Right.
That was said. كلمات كثيرة كعبة البنات والأولاد دي كانوا بيقولوا فيها. طريقة كلامهم مع بعض. The way they interacted with each other, it was very aggressive. They were talking casually about drugs. That we're talking about elementary school. احنا بنتكلم عن أطفال موجودين في المدرسة الابتدائية. يعني ديل بيتكلموا عن مخدرات إنها حاجة عادية. بيتكلموا عن الشوتينج الجن. بيتكلموا عن رصاص وإنه أهلهم يعني شافوا. فالتراما whether you experience trauma or saw it, it's going to affect you. الصدمات الحاجات الكعبة اللي بتمر بها في حياتك بتأثر فيك لو انت حصلت لك مباشر او شفتها. يلا الاطفال ديل الليلة كانوا بيتكلموا معانا عن انه المخدرات حاجة عادية، بيتكلموا عن إنه المسدسات حاجة عادية. يلا دي الأطفال في الابتدائي، فتخيلوا إنه أنتوا أطفالكم ممكن يكونوا موجودين مع أطفال بالنسبة لهم التنمر عادي، النبذ عادي، بيتلفظوا بألفاظ ما كويسة، they talk any kind of way, they are okay with guns, with drugs, they casually talk about someone died. تكلموا لنا عن زول في أسرته مات بطريقة ما فيها emotions. أنا ما بتكلم عن أطفال في مصحة يا اخواننا، ولا بتكلم عن اطفال في سجن، انا بتكلم عن اطفال في مدرسة هنا موجودة في المنطقة بتاعتي. A school that it's just regular elementary school. We're not talking about behavioral center or somewhere where you could say, oh, I expect that to happen.
Right.
And we shouldn't.
Right.
Like زي ما قلت قبل، ما في طفل بيتولد هو شايل في راسه المشاكل دي والصدمات والتعنيف والإحساسه بأنه ما عنده قيمة، إحساسه بأنه ممكن يضرب زول معه في الكلاس، ممكن يجيب مسدس. This behavior doesn't just happen. They don't get born with it. You're not born with this behavior. It's something that you see modeled in front of you. عشان كده for that reason, the parent and the society's job is to do better.
Right. So number two, before I say what number two is, Hagir had asked a question, and the question was, do you believe that you can make change? Right? And the answer was no.
Speak slowly, he said. Murtada, حاضر يا Murtada.
And the answer was no. And it kind of took Hagir back. I could see it in her face. Like, she wasn't expecting for them to say no. But when it was like, oh my word. And then she asked why. And nobody could really give an answer.
Yeah.
So number two.
سألت, let me just say it in Arabic. الكلام اللي قالته مايا هسه في الكلاس الليلة كنت عملت محاضرة صغيرة للأطفال بتاع المدرسة الابتدائية. وعادة بنمشي بنتكلم معاهم. الليلة كان يوم القراية العالمي، فمتطوعين من وظائف كثيرة، من ناس موجودين في المنطقة هنا عندهم أثر وكده، مشوا قروا للأطفال ديل في المدارس. فسألتهم وأنا بقرأ لهم في الكتاب، سألتهم هل عندكم إحساس إنه أنتم ممكن تغيروا المجتمع اللي حولكم، تغيروا بيتكم، تغيروا روحكم؟ فردوا لي قالوا لا. Their answer was no. And that took me by a surprise. يعني خلعني، ردهم ده خلعني، لأنه because I was prepared for them to say yes, and then they speak about how they're going to change the world, or how they can do. يعني كنت متوقعاهم يتكلموا معاي. قال لي لا، ما we don't feel we can make a difference. إحساس بروح وقيمة ما موجود كان. وردهم إنه نحن ما أعتقد إننا حنغير حاجة، لا حنغير مجتمعنا، لا حنغير روحنا ولا كده. Okay, so what are you guys like? How do you feel like you can do? Like I start to ask more questions. بديت أسأل أسئلة كثيرة عشان أعرف الكلام ده جاي من وين. As someone who learned, if you learn psychology, therapy, if you dealt with counseling, حتعرف إنه you will know that there is a reason behind every person's action and behavior. أي زول قرأ psychology ولا اشتغل في الكونسلينج، اشتغل مع أطفال، بيعرف إنه ما في حاجة بتحصل ساي. يعني البيهيفير بتاعتهم، سلوكياتهم عندها أثر. لأي for any action there is a reaction. لأي حاجة زول بيعملها بيكون في أثر. يلا الأطفال ديلا طريقتهم اللي هم بيتعاملوا بها أكيد مروا بحاجة. فأنا حاولت أتكلم معاهم عشان أصل لأنه شنو السبب اللي بخليهم يكونوا نيجاتيف حاجة بتخليهم إنه يكونوا سلبيين وإنه يكونوا ما حاسين إنه الحياة دي فيها فايدة وإنهم حيعملوا حاجة. And that's the reason for so many people to get frustrated and basically commit suicide or hurt other people or harm people. So دي واحدة من الأسباب اللي بتخلي الناس إنهم يدخلوا سجن, to go to jail, to hurt someone, يقتلوا زول ولا يعذبوا زول أو to get hurt themselves.
So number 2 is impaired social skills.
الامبيرمنت اللي هي الزول ممكن يكون ما عنده مقدرة على التعامل مع الآخرين. social skills, طريقة تعاملك مع الناس اللي حولك, تعاملك مع أسرتك, مع مجتمعك, مع ال students. One question that we asked them, you know, don't talk, like I said to the girl who was saying bad words to one of the students, I said, you can't talk like that to your friends. She said, they're not my friends. إنه ما تتكلمي مع أصحابك بالطريقة دي. We need to teach the kids how the people around them, if you sit in class for 5, 6, 7 hours with children, they're automatically part of your family,
right,
whether you like it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
So, impaired social skills. Children who experience verbal abuse may struggle to form healthy relationships and interact with peers due to the lack of trust and confidence in their abilities. Like that's, I hope you guys are really listening. I'm going to say it again.
Say it again.
Children who experience verbal abuse may struggle to form healthy relationships and interact with peers due to lack of trust and confidence in their abilities. And we saw that today.
Yeah.
We with our own eyes, in our own ears, we saw and we heard today.
The effect.
The impact.
A lot of people don't get to see the end result.
Yeah.
Like, I work with domestic violence survivors, right? And I also work with abusers.
Yeah.
Like, there is an organization that work with men and women who abused their partners or got out of jail or they were in trouble. So that organization have the end of the abuser.
Right.
And I deal also with the abused, the victims, right? So to see the results of those two's behavior, لتشوف نتيجة سلوكيات الزول المعنف والمعنف مع بعض قعادهم, النتيجة بتجي في الأطفال اللي شفناهم الليلة. تمام. الأطفال اللي بيسمعوا تعنيف لفظي كتير بيكرروه, بيفقدوا الثقة في روحهم, they lose trust and their ability. بيفقدوا الثقة في مقدراتهم إنهم هم ذاتهم يتعاملوا مع الناس, وبيفقدوا الثقة في مقدرة الناس الآخرين إنهم يتعاملوا معهم. So they lose trust in themselves, they lose trust in others, they lose trust in the world in general. Because when you speak to someone down, and remember that girl said words don't hurt.
Right.
قالت الكلمات ما بتجرح, لكن الشافعة الطفلة دي هي معنفة في بيتها, بتسمع نبذ من أمها بتقول لها أنت غبية. The mom tell her you're stupid, tell her she's not worthy. بيتكلموا معانا عن إنهم هم ما نافعين, أنت طفل ما نافع, أنت طفل غبي, أنت طفل حياتك ما عندها معنى. و they take their anger on them. الغضب بتاعهم بيطلعوه, غضب الأم والأبو بيطلعوه في الأطفال. يلا الطفل ده بيشيله, this is the cycle, الحلقة الشريرة. بيشيل نفس السلوكيات because this is a learned behavior. They learn that this is the only way you can communicate. If your mom and dad talk to you in a very mean way, put you down, all you're gonna do is you are going to be talking down to others. Right. You're gonna think it's okay for you to treat others like crap. Right. And it's not a problem. Like, she didn't care.
Right.
ما همها, كانت بتتكلم على أساس إنه so what?
Right.
I told you you're stupid because I was told I was stupid. كانت بتقول إنها هي بتقول للولد ده هو غبي لأنها هي سمعت أمها بتقول لها أنت غبية. فالكلام ده ما حرقني أنا. It didn't hurt me.
And with this kind of mindset, it's going to be very difficult to have a healthy relationship.
Yeah, hold on.
That's healthy friendship. That's healthy relationship with somebody. You know, as that person gets older, like all those things play a big part. So we have to be very careful and very alert of what we show our children. Because from what we've seen today, a healthy relationship won't happen. Mm-hmm. Because she will allow people to say and talk about things and say things to her without even thinking that it's going to hurt her.
Yeah.
And then it's going to start internally, and she's going to hold on to it.
Yeah.
And then she's going to lash out on others, and it's going to ripple effect. Just like we saw today, it started with 2, and then it rippled out to the whole group.
Yeah.
The whole entire group. It was just like
one bad apple. Remember literally. That saying? And I'm not saying that child is bad.
Right.
But they were exposed. عشان ما قلنا يعني مش بقول لك لما تاخد حاجة البصلة المعفنة عندنا المثل ده bad onion mess up the whole bad.
Yeah.
يلا الطفل ده ما طفل كعبة لأنه ما في طفل اتولد كعب. الأطفال ديلا شافوا في حياتهم شافوا العنف. أهلهم بيتكلموا معاهم بطريقة فبالنسبة لها جات عملت نفس الحاجة دي في الفصل. another child طفل تاني عنده نفس التربية. بيقول الاثنين بيشاكلوا. بقيت الأطفال at some point I stopped them and I said this is not fair for the rest of the class. في لحظة قلت لهم اللي بتعملوا فيه ده ما عادل للآخرين لأنه في أطفال تانيين معاكم جايين عشان يقروا. The rest of the student respond to me that nope, we're not here to study.
Right.
We're talking about elementary school guys. نحن نتكلم عن أطفال في مدرسة ابتدائية. قال نحن ما جايين نقرأ. So what are you here for?
Right. And she asked a question.
I did.
And then
سألت السؤال إنه أنتوا ما جايين. You wake up every morning and you are not here to study and learn.
Yeah.
And I said, what is the power? Like learning is power.
Yeah.
Their answer is like nope.
One person did say wisdom.
Wisdom, yeah.
You know, so like not all the fruit in the bowl can, you know, get bad immediately.
But
right?
exposure.
But exposed to it. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Last week I had a bag of grapes in my refrigerator. Okay? I took the grapes out. I put them in my car and I was going to eat them while I was driving. Okay? As I started eating these grapes, I finally decided to look at the grape in my hand.
Whoa.
And it was fuzzy.
Ew.
It was fuzzy.
Ew.
The other ones didn't taste fuzzy, but I don't know if they look fuzzy, but I'm just saying, like, you just never know. But exposure to that bad fruit infects the whole bag.
Yeah.
It really does. So we got to be like really mindful and really vigilant and dedicated to our children because they are our pillars coming up. They're going to correct the things that we have done in our past. And I'm worried.
Yeah. No,
it scared
today
me.
It was like, yeah.
It scared me.
Yeah.
So number 3, behavioral. Am I saying that right? Behavioral. I can't tell. Y'all know I'm from Texas, y'all.
Hello.
Behavioral issues. Children subjected to verbal abuse may exhibit behavioral problems such as aggression, withdrawal, defense, or acting out as a way to cope with emotional pain and stress.
Say it slowly and I'm going to translate it into Arabic.
Okay. Behavioral issues.
اللي بنتكلم عنهم ديل أطفال السلوكيات behavior their behavioral they have behavioral issues so سلوكياتهم كان فيها مشكلة.
Right.
Why?
Children subjected to verbal abuse may exhibit behavioral problems such as
الأطفال اللي بيتعرضوا لعنف لفظي أو بيتعرضوا لسلوكيات بيشوفوا السلوكيات مضرة زي أمهم أبوهم بيعنفوا بعض، بيشوفوا السلوكيات دي قدامهم بتخليهم يظهروا هم ذاتهم السلوكيات دي بتظهر فيهم. كيف تعرف إنه الطفل ده هو من أسرة فيها تعنيف؟ How do you know that the child live in a household where there violence? كيف بتعرفوا إنه الطفل يتربى في أسرة أو في بيت العنف فيه لو كان لفظي ولا غيره هو موجود؟ بتلقى الطفل aggressive, right؟ بتلقى إنه عنيف، aggression، عنف. الطفل طريقة كلامه، يعني قبيل الأطفال اللي إحنا قعدنا معاهم كلهم كانوا بيتكلموا بعنف. They talk in a very aggressive way to each other and to the teacher. كانوا بيتكلموا بعنف وعدم احترام لبعضهم وللتيتشر. aggressive.
withdrawal.
withdrawal is الأطفال بتلقاهم بعدين روحهم. they keep a distance and pull in. بتلاحظ دي الحاجات اللي بتخليك تلاحظ انه الطفل ده either هو معنف يا اما هو معنف او شاف عنف قدامه كتير.
defense or acting out as a way to cope with emotional pain and stress.
so واحدة من الطرق اللي بيحاولوا يتعافوا بيها نفسيا وعاطفيا انهم بيبقوا بيدافعوا عن، يعني الواحد بتلقى ديفنسيف، تتكلم معاه بيقوم بيصدك، ما بيديك فرصة إنه أنت ذاتك تحاول تساعده. يعني أنا حاولت الليلة مع الاثنين ديلا، بحاولت إنه to get to the root of the problem. Today I tried. حاولت عشان أعرف الجذور بتاعت سلوكياتهم دي جاي من وين، غير إنه المعلومات اللي هم قالوا لي أو أنا عارفاها إنهم طالعين من بيت فيه عنف، عنف لفظي وعنف جسدي وكله، لكن كانوا very defensive. الاثنين كانوا they push me away. كانوا ما عايزين، بيرفضوا انه يساعدون، بيرفضوا انه يتكلموا معاك. so they become very defensive. ودي كلها coping mechanism. كل الحاجات اللي بيعملوها الأطفال دي لأنهم ما بيعرفوا. they don't know any better. ما بيعرفوا غير الحاجة دي. لما أنت تتربى وتكون أنت طفل وما عندك لا حول لك ولا قوة، يعني الأطفال ديل they don't have the ability to defend themselves. ما عندهم قدرة يدافعوا عن نفسهم، ما عندهم قدرة إنه to tell. they cannot tell their parent to stop it. ما بيقدروا يقولوا لأمهم وأبوهم وقفوا، ما بيقدروا إنه يوقفوا الزول المعنف لو كان الأم ولا الأب ولا زول حولهم أخوهم غيره. ف their way of coping طريقة يعني إنهم هم كيف يتعافوا ويتعاملوا مع العنف الشايفينه ده، إنه بيبقوا هم عنيفين لنفسهم. they become very aggressive. ولا بيعزلوا روحهم. they isolate themselves. ولا they become defensive. و push anyone away. بيدافعوا عن الحاجة بدون ما يكونوا أصلا دارين يدوك فرصة. they don't let you in. دي كلها طريقة عشان ما يعملوا بيها to fix the emotional trauma that they have. الصدمات النفسية اللي هم مروا بيها بيبقوا روحهم إنه مجبرين because you have to develop some coping mechanism. بتحصل حاجات زي انفصام الشخصية. when people have multiple personality disorder. أي زول فيكم بيقرأ علم نفس أو قرأ علم نفس بيعرف إنه في حاجات بتحصل because of nurture and nature. في حاجات بتحصل أمراض نفسية أو مشاكل نفسية بتحصل بسبب إنه الطفل أو الطفلة ديلا مارين بضغوطات جسمهم ما قدر عليها، فبيحاولوا يعملوا حاجة تطلعوا من الإحساس ده. so they are so defenseless. they are so young and weak because they're kids, not weak because they're weak. weak because this is who they are.
They haven't even experienced the real world yet.
They didn't experience anything yet. So when you give them too much trauma, صدمات كتيرة, their body cannot handle it. جسمهم وعقلهم ما بيقدر يستحمل الحاجة دي، فبيحاولوا إنه يعالجوها. They try to correct it and treat it in the only way they know. بالطريقة الوحيدة اللي بيعرفوها اللي هي إنهم to act out. إنهم يضاربوا يقلوا أدبهم. وتقول الشافع ده قليل الأدب. No, there is not such a thing as a disrespectful child that was born disrespectful.
Facts.
ما في طفل بيتولد من رحم أمه وبكون قليل أدب وبيكون عنيف وبيكون عنده مشاكل. No kid is born hating others. ما في طفل بيتولد بيكره الآخرين.
It is a learned behavior.
So it's a learned behavior. So that's why we do what we do now. We try to raise awareness. ده السبب اللي بيخلينا إن نقعد نتكلم يوميا. Talk about the same thing over and over and over. We talk every day about all the topic because it intertwined, interconnect.
With their whole life.
المواضيع دي يعني this is going to affect them the rest of their life.
Right. And what we talk about in Autism Monday, Violence Awareness Tuesday, Business Wednesday, Mental Health Thursday, all of those are in everyday life. There's not one drop of information that you can say that doesn't apply to everyday life.
Yes.
But our children are our future, okay? And if we don't take the time to really focus on what they're absorbing in, it's going to be a very dark future.
Absolutely right. هويدا في تيك توك هنا she said you have to get to the root of the problem in order for you to fix it. ودي في أي حاجة بالمناسبة. عندنا في السودان an example in Sudan we have a saying that آخر العلاج الكي. So when there is a problem, like if you have an infected wound, you either cut it off or burn it. آخر العلاج الكي is burn, right? So getting to the root of the problem, you're gonna, if you're bleeding, لو انت بتنزف وطفلك ده ظاهرة انه حاجات مؤثرة فيه نفسيا, what you're gonna do first aid is stopping the bleeding. Stop the bleeding. حتعمل حل مؤقت توقف به المشكلة. You are going to find a temporary solution for the problem, but you have to get to the root of the problem. If there is a something is stuck in their hands and is causing the infection, لو في حاجة دخلت وعملت لهم التهاب, you can give them medication, give them antibiotic, تدون دواء. لكن لو ما طلعت الحاجة الكعبة دي, they're never going to heal. ما حيحصل شفاء تام. At the end of the day, we talk about everything. We talk about adult and behavior, and we talk about abuse in general. People think it's a joke. It's not a joke.
It's not.
It is not something that you take casually, because when you know someone is getting abused and there is kids in the house, لما تكون عارف إنه في التعامل عنيف الأسرة دي, لو لو أبو الاثنين كعبين معنفين بيضربوا بيتكلموا كلام كعب, they lower the self-esteem of their children. That's going to really affect, because now you are raising a society that is going to keep the cycle of abuse going. انتوا كده بتربوا في أطفال أو بتسمحوا لناس يربوا أطفال في مجتمع ما نظيف, in an environment that is not clean, it is not healthy. ما صحية, مجتمع ما صحي. الأطفال دول ما حيطلعوا صحيين. They're not going to be healthy, because you cannot put someone, I mean, we can definitely say every kid that grew up in an abusive household become an abuser, but they might become an abuser themselves. They can be abused or become an abuser. So, you know, that's why when we say the importance of us as a society, a collective, thank you. So as collective society, we need to say something, and we need to look for the well-being of the young ones. I don't care about you as an old woman and a man. If you guys want to be a-holes, go for it. I'm sorry, Facebook. Like, seriously, if you want to be like that, go do it with yourself. But do not raise your kids this way. Because you are messing up everybody else's kid. And you are messing up the whole community in general.
So our last key point is long-term effects. long-term effects. And Hagir just basically covered all of this, but I'm going to go over it.
Yeah.
So, verbal abuse during childhood can have long-lasting effects into adulthood, including increased vulnerability to mental health disorders, difficulties in forming healthy relationships, and...
Yeah, we're going to say this is slow, and I'm going to say it in Arabic too. So read like 5 words and let me translate.
Okay. Verbal abuse during childhood can have long-term effects into adulthood.
Okay, so العنف اللفظي أثناء الطفولة للأطفال حيكون عنده أثر طويل الأمد long lasting effect أثر طويل الأمد لحد ما هم يبقوا adult لحد ما هم يبقوا ناس كبار. يعني أي حاجة أنت بتعملها لأطفالك تأكد إنها حتأثر في طريقة حياتهم في طريقتهم اللي بيتعاملوا بها مع الآخرين ولا اللي بيخلوا الآخرين يتعاملوا بها. So including increased vulnerability to mental health disorder. واحدة من long term effect أو واحدة من الآثار طويلة الأمد اللي بتحصل للأطفال اللي بيتعرضوا للعنف اللفظي أو بيشوفوا عنف لفظي بيحصل لهم تضعف مقدرتهم إنهم بيتعرضوا لأمراض نفسية في المستقبل. يعني بتخطهم في وضع put them in a spot where they will be a victim of like from others and having mental health disorders. قبل أنا ذكرتها multiple personality disorder مثلا. في a lot of disorders is genetic. في أمراض نفسية كثيرة هي بتجي وراثية، لكن في أمراض مكتسبة. There are some disorders and disorders that are learned or as a defense mechanism. لو بتحضروا الأفلام في أفلام كثيرة any movie did not just happen.
Facts.
كل الأفلام دي هي من حاجة حصلت في الحياة. Most of it. معظمهم يعني.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new. So when you see that a child was abused during childhood, they grew up to be a serial killer or they grew up to be, you know, a stalker. You know, they grew up. ما في طفل بيمشي يعني أي طفل بيتعامل بطريقة over sexualized. لا الطفل اللي بيتعامل بطريقة ما حقد عمره تأكد إنه هو شافه في مكان. He saw it somewhere. If they're acting in a different age, not their age, trust me, they saw it somewhere. So those are the things that we need to be watching for. الآثار طويلة الأمد للصحة النفسية للطفل، طريقة تعامله مع الآخرين، طريقة سماحه للآخرين بأنه يتعاملوا معه، طريقة تقبله للحياة بشكل عام. So most of those kids will grow up to become addicted to something. Either addicted to, you know, drugs or just throw themselves into like work or not caring about their life.
Or relationships.
Or bad relationships. I mean, we all have that. But
well, a bad relationship can, you know, make or break you. You know what I'm saying? So we have to just be very cautious. So I do want to say verbal abuse.
Yes, هويدا, the topics to be addressed. Yes. المواضيع اللي بنناقشها كلها, all the topics we discuss here are topic that we would like to hear your experience. دي مواضيع نحن بنناقشها معاكم عشان نشوف انتوا حلولكم شنو. ولو في زول عنده تجربة, somebody experienced it. So that is like what you just shared with us, finding the roots. So all the topics we discuss are topics that we actually either dealt with or saw with our job or our school or our own personal life. So those are things that actually will harm not just the kids, and their family but the society at large. وهسه لما يجوكي تجيك أسرة ما يعني بيتعاملوا بعنف مع أطفالهم، بيكذبوا، بيضربوهم، بيضربوا بعض، وفي النهاية الأطفال لما يطلعوا معنفين ولا يدخلوا في جرائم، الأسرة بتجي بيقول الحصل شنو. So the family who are treating their kids badly, abusing them or exposing them to abuse and lies and all those bad behavior, then when the kids grow up and model those behavior, those family will come and say, how did we go wrong?
Right.
You know? الأسرة بتجي تسأل السؤال إنه عملنا شنو غلط نحن؟ What right did you do? You didn't do anything right. And that's not a blame for the families. ده يا اخواننا ما عتاب للأسر، وده ما بيعني إنه أي أسرة هي أطفال طلعوا مشكلة معناها المشكلة من الأم والأبو. That doesn't mean if the family, if the kids is doing something bad, it has to be the parent. I mean, that's not the case all the time, but for the most majority. لكن الغالبية بتاعت الأطفال اللي بتلقى سلوكياتهم عنيفة بتلقون acting out.
Yeah, because you can raise a child the right way,
but they
still make bad decisions. It's part of life. We all make mistakes, and things are bound to happen. But if there's a way that we can prevent it, and that means us as adults holding our tongue, showing our children love, care, compassion, you know, those characteristics, it makes a world of difference. True.
So that's one of the things, and way they said, yes, the whole community will be affected. So لوزانا قالت أكيد العنف اللفظي له تأثير في تكوين شخصية الأطفال, and it's not just تأثير بسيط, it's not just a small effect, but it has everything to do with how they grow up. And like Maya said, some kids grow up and go through trouble. So that's why we have to define and find that fine line between someone making mistakes and someone acting out. في فرق كبير وخط بين إنه الطفل ده بيعمل أخطاء making mistakes, kids making mistakes, ولا الطفل ده هو بيعمل في سلوكيات عشان ما عايز attention. There is a problem. So when people act this way, they're normally asking for your help. They're normally crying for help. يعني زي ما لما الزول يكون under a very hard time and going through stress, and they feel like I can't do it anymore, I'm going to commit suicide, right? So kids, they reach out. If someone reach out to you and tell you that, oh, I want to end my life, this is called cry for help. Because if someone wants to end their life, they will end it. But if someone come and address this with you, rest assured, تأكد إنه الزول ده بيطالبك عشان تساعده. He's asking for your help. So when you see a kid who is throwing a tantrum, الطفل بيكسر بيجدع بيعمل في حاجات ممكن تكون بيتكلم بألفاظ ما كويسة عنيف مع الأطفال اللي حوله، تأكد إنه في مشكلة. There is a problem that you need to get to the root of it to help that child. And start by looking at the house, you know. That's why there is agencies that are, they will go to the house if there is a suspect abuse. لو في أي شك في إنه الأسرة معنفة بيمشوا بيشوفوا الأطفال. There is a lady just sent a question. في واحدة رسلت رسالة كان قبل 2 days قبل يومين إنه الطفلة بتاعتها فجأة كده قالت لها أنا ما عايزة أعمل، وبقت تتعامل بطريقة يعني ما معتادة عليها هي. So that young lady was acting out, and her mom was sending messages to see what is happening, like for us to help her on figuring out what is going on. And that mother, when she started talking, I said, just go talk to her. Like, don't say and accuse. لما تتكلموا مع أطفالكم, don't just sit and accuse them, but sit down and listen to them. Hear them out. أعرف المشكلة وين. ممكن تكون المشكلة في المدرسة. And here for her to find out that that young lady is being bullied in school. بيتعاملوا معاه بتنمر في المدرسة. Why they're bullying her? Because the way her mom is dressed. طريقة أمها اللي كانت بتلبس وبتجيبها المدرسة، الأطفال بيجوا يتنمروا عليها. فهي so instead of her telling her mom, don't come to school looking like that, or don't do this, or tell her right, she starts to act out on her mom. بقت بتقل أدبها على أمها، بقت بتتضارب وتعمل في سلوكيات. ف when you find the root، لما تعرف الأسباب، لما أمها بدأت تتكلم معاها وضغطناها، عرفنا إنها هي الأطفال ديل بيتعاملوا معاها بتنمر لأنه أمها بتجي مبشتنة معولقة، يعني ما بتعرف تتكلم إنجليزي كويس. فواحدة من الحاجات الممكن easy fix. This is an easy fix by you talking to your kids and knowing what is affecting them. If they start to act up، لو بيجوا يتعاملوا بطريقة عنيفة، عرفوا ليهم بيعملوا كده. There is nothing that happened out of nowhere. Everything has a reason. And yes, communication هويدا. Exactly. And she said effective strategies. And communication is the big thing. Having a relationship with your kids is an important thing to do. طوالي أنا بتكلم في الحتة دي وبالذات. Let me talk to my Sudanese people right now. خلينا نتكلم مع ناسنا السودانيين هنا هسه. معظم المشاكل اللي بنشوفها هنا في أمريكا أو في أي مجتمع تاني جاية ناشئة من عدم الكوميونيكيشن، عدم التواصل. التواصل ده ما بالضروري تقعدوا تبقوا أصحاب وتتونسوا and all of that. Nope. You need to talk to your kids. I don't care if you work 16 hour 20 hour. لو انتوا شغالين 100 ساعة، لما تجوا البيت لازم تقعدوا مع أطفالكم تتكلموا معاهم، تشوفوا يومهم مشى كيف، تعودوهم إنهم to open up, to teach them how to open up to you, to teach them that you are their number one person.
Right.
I tell my girls from when they were baby، بناتي مما هم صغار، أنا بقول لهم لو عملتوا أي حاجة، if you do anything in the world, trust that you can call me and I'll come and help you.
Right.
I will talk to you after. You're gonna get punished. حيحصل لك عقوبة وعقاب بعد. لكن في الوقت الحاصلة فيه المشكلة ما تقعدوا تدوم محاضرة. Don't lecture them.
Right.
Find out why they acting this way, and it's probably something simple and it could be addressed. There is a question here. Hold on. What is your question? You said any advice? So, anyways, in general, نحنا لو جينا مجتمع، يعني في أسر كثيرة بتسأل برضو إنه أطفالنا في المدارس نربيهم كيف؟ لأنه حيمشوا المدرسة وإحنا خايفين إنهم يتعاملوا. Don't be afraid of sending your kids to school as long as you have the foundation. لما تبنوا أطفالكم صح من البداية، تتكلموا معاهم، تخاطبون، توروهم كيف يتعاملوا لو زول احتدى عليهم، توروهم كيف يتعاملوا if someone attack them. You teach them how to act when they get frustrated. You teach them to be honest with you. You teach them to come to you for a solution, or if they have any issue. تعودوا أطفالكم إنهم يجوكم إنتوا لو عندهم مشكلة، ياخدوا المعلومات منكم مباشرة. ولو إنتوا ما عارفين، if you don't know the answer, don't just come up and make up an answer, because the kids are very smart.
Yeah, they are.
Tell them, I don't know the answer, but we can look it up together. لو أدوكم أي advice. One woman, she freaked out because her 16 years old, she found a vape in her 16 years old room. دي سودانية لقت السيجارة الإلكترونية دي عند طفلة، عند بنتها يعني 16 سنة. فهي اتخلعت وقامت نبذتها وضربتها وشالت اللي هناك. She freaked out, she hit her daughter, took away the vape and did not explain to her. This is a problem. دي مشكلة. هي طالما وصلت لإنه جابت لها سيجارة إلكترونية في البيت، the minute that she brought a vape to the house, that means somebody introduced it to her.
Right.
ده بوريك إنها هي شافتها في مكان وزول اداها ليها ولا شالتها هي براها, and she wants to experience, right? She did it, so if she did it once she can do it again.
Facts.
لو عملتها مرة ممكن تعملها مرة تانية. انت كونك تضربيها, you hit her or you take away the vape, لو ضربتيها وشلتي منها السيجارة الإلكترونية, ده ما بيعني إنها هي حتبطل. That doesn't mean this problem is solved.
Right.
A lot of parents, and especially our Sudanese parents, think that with raising the voice, with being verbal, with being violent, that is going to fix the problem.
Right. And not just in the Sudanese community.
Yeah.
I would say in the African American community as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So just because you're loud doesn't mean that you're...
Beat some senses into them.
Right.
I hear this all the time. أضربون لحد ما يوعوا. Beat some senses into them. That is not an answer.
Right.
And I'm sorry. A lady, we were having this conversation, كنا بنتكلم عن الموضوع ده, واحدة من النسوان كبار يعني, she's an older lady. She said, well, we were all beat and we turned up fine. I'm like, did you? No, I don't think so. Because there is a different time. الأطفال هسه بيتربوا
This is a different time.
This is a different time.
Yeah.
The way you grew up, الطريقة اللي أنت تربيتي بها والطريقة اللي أنت تربيت بها ما بالضروري هي الطريقة الصح ولا بالضرورة هي الطريقة اللي حيتربوا بها أطفالكم. That being said doesn't mean be okay with them bringing e-cigarette or whatever, but that should start from day one.
Right.
That's why نحن بنتكلم إنه لما تتكلموا مع أطفالكم أبدوا من البداية. Start from when they start talking. When your child start talking, start teaching them about what right and what wrong.
Yep.
علموهم الصح من الغلط. علمون انتوا أخلاقكم عايزينها شنو, عاداتكم شنو. A lot of people come and say, you know, I keep them away from the community and not expose them to a different society because I want to save them. That's not saving them.
Yeah, that turns into a whole nother bag of chips that you do not want to open.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can't hide your children from everything.
And the world.
And the world.
And the society.
And then if you do, when you do let them go, they're gonna be 10 times worse than what they were when they was just chilling in the house. You know what I'm saying? So you do have to expose your children to certain things, and you have to be able to have that open line of communication where they can say, hey mom, hey dad, Susie gave me this vape. I don't even know what it's for.
Yeah.
You have to, if you don't have that relationship now, when they get old, they're not going to talk to you about anything.
Yeah.
And
scaring some senses into them is not, people, this is a saying that we hear a lot. خوفون. أقول لهم انتوا الفيجر السكير يعني they're not your friends. Yeah, هم ما أصحابكم, they're not your friends.
Right.
But they can be your friends and you still can be a mom and a dad.
Exactly.
At the same time. ممكن تكونوا انتوا أم وأبو وقت هم محتاجين لأم وأبو. When they need a friend, لما يكونوا محتاجين لصديق وشخص يتكلموا معاه برضو بيلقوكم. So give them that space to express themselves without fear of punishment.
Right.
ادوهم المساحة إنهم يعبروا عن نفسهم. Teenagers, whether here in the US or anywhere, كونك تربي طفل في أمريكا, to raise a child here in the US or in Sudan, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's all about you, what you instill in them.
Right.
الحاجة اللي أنت بتعلمها لأطفالك, and how do you want them to act. They don't read your mind. ما بيقروا عقلكم. So الواحد ما حيعرف إنه أنت الحاجة أنت تربيت كيف. Talk to them about how you were growing up, how you were raised, what is accepted in your society, your religion, or your culture. علمون شنو المقبول في دينكم، شنو المقبول في عاداتكم، شنو المقبول في تقاليدكم، شنو المقبول لكم أنتوا كأسرة. What you accept, what you allow, and what you don't allow.
Right.
And then when they mess up, don't think this is the end of their life. دي ما نهاية حياتهم. When they mess up, sit down with them, explain to them. They used to say, when the kids ask you for something, you can just say no. Don't just say no.
Right.
Explain why no.
Yeah.
So that's a method will work. And I am talking from experience. I raised two girls, 22 and 16. thank God, you know, they're good girls and they are raised well, and I trust that anywhere they go, they're gonna make the right decision.
Right.
Does that mean they're not gonna make mistakes? No.
Yeah.
حيعملوا أخطاء, حيخطئوا. They're gonna make mistakes, but they know where to come.
Right. And the fear that Hagir was just talking about, like, there's a good fear and there's a bad fear. At least that's how I feel. Like my dad, we knew not to do things because not in fear that he was gonna do something to us, but it was more a fear of disappointment.
Respect and disappointment,
right.
Yes, same way.
And to this day, to this very day, as a 31-year-old woman, if my dad says something, it's a rap. I don't even know what to tell you. But that's just out of respect, So. It's good for your children to not fear you, but
have a figure.
Yeah, like
a role model.
Right. You're gonna know that mom's word is word, dad's word is word. There's no extra out of that. But that just comes from having healthy relationships and building the proper stepping stools for your children for them to walk up. Yeah, that's very important. So if you're not laying the groundwork at home, when they get older, it's gonna be like, wee.
Yeah. Wee. Exactly. They're not. عندنا مثل سوداني, we have a saying in Sudan that ما بتشوفه في بيت أبوك بخلعك. Whatever you don't see at your dad or in your dad's house is going to surprise you.
Yeah.
You're gonna go be like, so if you raise them for not to know anything, when they go out in the world, oh boy, it is going to go down.
They're gonna be like, hold on, what?
What?
I want that. What is that?
Yeah. But what Maya just said, الكلام اللي قالته مايا هسه, my dad, until the day he died, لحد ما هو مات, up to today, he's dead. My dad has been dead since 2008.
Oh, wow.
But anything that I do, I think about him and I think of him.
Yeah.
يعني مات 2008 أبوي. لكن الليلة أي حاجة أنا بعملها بفكر في إنه أثر شنو عند أبوي. ما لأنه كان بخوفنا. Not because he was, making us fear him.
Right.
Or scaring us.
Right.
No, it is because of how we respect him.
Exactly.
How that look in his face,
right.
The disappointment face.
Yeah.
You don't want to see that.
Yeah.
And that's all he needed to do. كل اللي عمله إنه يقول لك أنا يعني حزين ولا ما مبسوط من حاجة أنت عملتها. Whatever you did, if he just show you that he's disappointed, that was it. That was a wrap, like Maya said.
Yeah.
So that's what you need as a father figure or as a mother figure. You need your kids to look up to you as a role model, to respect you.
Right.
And there is a responsibility come with being a mom or a dad. So there is a responsibility that come with you being a mother or a father, and that responsibility is not simple.
Right.
So you have to take it and you have to learn how to instill that respect.
Yeah.
تعلمهم إنهم يحترموك ما يخافوا منك. There is a difference between respecting someone and fearing someone.
Yeah.
So you want to respect your parents. You want to respect the authority figures. You want to respect the people that you see as role models in your life, not fear them.
Yeah. Fear
of the disappointment look in their face.
Right.
Not fear being beaten.
Right.
And beating some senses into you.
Because
let me tell you, that doesn't work.
Right. And that look is worse than I swear. It feels like a beating.
Yes.
And my dad's the same way. Even if he if he gives you that eye, oh man, count your days.
Yeah.
You ain't never gonna be able to bounce back for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's what we're missing.
Yeah.
In the community. You know, when we talk about, people talk, I hear a lot of Sudanese people talk about, you know, back in the days when the teacher would allow it to beat the student, or when anybody in a neighbor can beat you up. This is not okay. We don't want to go back to that.
Right.
But in that example, يعني دي ما مثال إنه زمان التيتشر كان بيدق أي زول ولا الأسرة بتدق أي زول ولا الجيران يدقوك to beat you up. That's not an era we want to go back to.
Right.
But we want to take the good thing from what we all learned from your dad. Whatever you see that work with you as a parent, you know. But we gotta be careful with that, because a guy, I posted something about domestic violence. كنت كاتبة موضوع عن domestic violence أو العنف الأسري، ودخل لي واحد a guy came and wrote me a message saying that you now trying to teach women that beating them is not a good thing. My dad beat my mom and we turned out good. I said, did you? Like, قال دخل قال لي الكلام ده يعني it's on my Facebook page, you can see it.
Wow.
He said قال دارين تجي تغيروا. When people come and say you are trying to empower women, or yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I'm not hiding it.
Yeah. You're on the wrong page, and that's not what you thought you was getting.
So he said قال أمي كان انتوا هسه بس بتاعين حركات ساي. أمي كان أبوي بدقة كل يوم، تصحى بدقة وبتنوم بدقة. الحصل لنا شنو؟ ما هسه نحن كويسين. قلت له أنت كويس؟ هسه ده كلامك ده كلام زول كويس. So he said his mom wake up with a beat and go to sleep with the beat from his dad. And he didn't think that was a problem. And he think they grew up to be okay. I said, no, you're not. Because clearly you're not. Because if you are okay, you won't think physical abuse is a problem. And that's the effect we're talking about. ده الكلام اللي عملنا بيه الحلقة الليلة، إنه الأطفال. The reason for this alive, that the kids who grew up in this environment, they turn to be abuser themselves. هيتحولوا للناس اللي بيعنفوا اللي بيضربوا. But this is not a topic we discuss one time.
Right.
This is an ongoing topic.
Yep.
So if you just join us, or you just clicked on our Facebook page or YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, make sure you follow, you support, and share it if you think it's helping you or helping someone, and tag whoever you think it would be need to hear this. That's the first thing. The second thing, it's a joint effort, community effort, all of us.
Yeah.
This is our job to do, right? And on top of that, all the topic we discuss, they correlate, like they
every
interline.
last one.
Yeah.
Every single last one. So you heard it here.
That's it.
Oh, that's it, guys. So, before we end today's live, we are going to announce February's winner. We were rushing to get off the live because Hagir had a meeting yesterday. So, if you participated in the February contest, here's your chance. I'm waiting for y'all to have a seat right quick. See if you want. Okay. So, our winner is...
اللي عملت submission الزولة رسلت ايميل بالمسابقة بتاعت المواهب حقت شهر 2. اسمها فدوى حسن. الطفل عمره 15 سنة واسمه مهند. فرسلت قالت ولدها مهند، دي الرسومات بتاعته. So what I just said in Arabic, that the one that contacted us, we received 5. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are going to come and say, I didn't win. هيجوا ناس يقولوا لنا أنا ما فزت. Did you submit?
Facts. Where was it?
Did you submit? We only got 5 submissions for the month of February. جونا 5 مشاركات لمسابقة المواهب في شهر 2. 5 مشاركات. الفايز بالمشاركة دي اسمه مهند. مهند is the winner. He's 15 years old. His mom name is Fadwa Hassan. Fadwa Hassan. If you're hearing us, we are going to share his drawing and we are going to contact them. Watch for your email, Fadwa, and you are going to receive your $100 prize for February. And we are going to submit a video with details on March submission.
Yes.
Because March, مسابقة مواهب شهر 3, or the contest for March is going to be a little bit different.
Yes.
It is still the same cash prize,
yes,
but it is going to be different. So stay tuned, watch the page, follow it, share it, like it, and you are going to hear what is the contest. But congratulations, Muhannad and Fadwa Hassan, and you're going to see why he won when you see the post about the prize and his art that he submitted.
And we will post the art later on tonight. We will do the post with the art as well.
Hold on, before we end, Salwa Izzuddin, she asked a question. We have a very important question here, so sorry guys. Salwa is asking how a nervous mom affect her children. So, yeah, Salwa, I'm going to answer in English and then in Arabic. Any behavior that you do, it's basically just think of your kids as an empty cup.
Yeah, it's like a blueprint.
A blueprint. It's fresh. They don't know anything. So how they learn is by hearing it, seeing it, and you modeling.
Yeah.
And the school, the TV, anything that they see, it will have effect.
Yep.
So with that being said, if you are nervous all the time, you're yelling at your kids all the time, you punish, you're fast to punish them, that is going to affect them deeply.
Yeah.
Because now you are going to raise them to be nervous.
Right.
And to be, if you mean by nervous, is someone أخلاقه ضيقة, بيضحك سريع, someone who gets mad easy. You know, try to control how you feel. We all get nervous. We all get anxious. We all get mad.
Yeah.
But when you get to that point, it does work. Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Count from 1 to 10. I swear to you, it will work. Give yourself a time out.
Yeah. Oh, say that again.
Give yourself, ya Salwa, a time out. If they bother you, and that's normal, don't feel bad. As a mother or a father, you are going to feel like you're not doing the right job. You're going to feel like this is too much.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm done. And you're going to get all that frustration out on your kids. Don't do it.
Right.
So when you feel this way, know that it's okay to feel like that. But you have to find a healthy coping mechanism. لازم تلقي حاجة. I'm going to say it in Arabic now. So Salwa is asking, سألت قالت الأم العصبية أثر الحاجة دي على أطفال شنو؟ فقلت لها إنه أطفالك هم حاجة خام ما عارفين حاجة. حيتعلموا بكلامك معاهم، حيتعلموا بالحاجات اللي حيشوفوها، حيتعلموا بالحاجات اللي حيسمعوها، حيتعلموا بإنه أنت بتعملي لهم مثال، بتكوني مثال بالنسبة لهم لكيف هم سلوكياتهم تكون. لما تكوني أنت عصبية وبتكركي فيهم طوالي وبتعاقبيهم بأقل حاجة، حيتعلموا إنه دي الطريقة المفروض يتعاملوا بيها. حتى أي أم وأبو بتجيهم لحظة بيحسوا إنهم ما قادرين، إنه الحاصل لهم ده كتير عليهم، إنه يعني عايزين يكركوا في أطفالهم ويطلعوا الزهج بتاعهم وعصبيتهم دي في أطفالهم. لما يجيكم الإحساس ده ما تعملوا كده. أخذوا نفس عميق والكلام ده in heaven. It come from me because I do not do yoga. I don't do any breathing techniques or all of that. So when I tell you do breathing technique, trust me, it'll help.
Right.
أخذوا نفس عميق، عدي من 1 ل10، خدي نفسك في تايم اوت، خدي نفسك امشي براك، شوفي لك مكان كورنر، شوفي لك ركن اقعدي فيه لحد ما تكام داون، لحد ما تهدي. بعد ذاك امشي اقعد اتكلمي معاهم. So all you need to do is the same thing. Instead of lashing out on your kids، بدل ما تتعصبي فيهم، find a coping mechanism. شوفي لك طريقة تقدري تتعاملي بيها مع احساسك ده. Because whatever you put out, it is going to come back. Your kids are going to learn that this is the way they're supposed to deal with issues.
Right.
And the same goes with the one that is drinking. في شخص قال بيشرب لما يحصل له stress، لما يحصل له stress when they get like overwhelmed، لما يحسوا بإنهم خلاص متضايقين بيمشي بيسكر بيشرب. he said يلا الشراب ده انت كده بتوري اطفالك you model to them that drinking is a solution for the you know, it makes you feel better. So you're automatically giving them an okay to go and drink.
And you gotta be very careful what you say.
Yep. If we miss any message on TikTok, I truly apologize. Yeah. Huwaida, I'm so proud of what you're doing, honestly. You said it was a different time and era. Yeah, that a lot of people don't understand that. Not because you grew up this way, you have to do it. Find what is right and what is wrong.
Right.
Yeah. As sad as it sounds, sometimes the abused become the abuser. If you want to join us, you can join us. Yes, we're going to share the art. Okay, perfect. Welcome back. So anyways, if you just joined us, as soon as we log off, you can watch the whole show. It was very good. We did talk about the effect of verbal abuse on children. الأثر النفسي اللي بيحصل للأطفال اللي بيسمعوا عنف لفظي أو بيشوفوا عنف لفظي. How is that going to affect them in a short and long term? أثره على الأطفال في المدى القريب والمدى البعيد. فشكرا لكم. Thank you. You could have spent your time doing anything else, but you chose to be with us. And we don't take this lightly. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Keep being the change that you want to see in the world. And keep raising awareness. If you see something, say something. And we will see you tomorrow.
Yes. Bye, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.